Welcome back to my channel. It's Kia here from the Kia Mates Etsy shop, from Kia Creates and Inspiring Journals on Instagram, and from the Journal Club podcast. Today's video is an extra special one because I've just finished the journal that I've been creating over the past few months for the Sketchbook Project. I'll leave a link with more information below if you don't know what that is, but basically it's a huge museum or library in Brooklyn that houses sketchbooks from artists all around the world. And I think that's such a cool project. As soon as I heard about it, I just knew that I had to be involved. So I've been working on my journal for the past couple of months, and as well as being a really fun project for me, it's also turned into something much wider within the community because I based the prompts for the Journaling Through the Ages challenge on the pages that I'd already made, so other people could interpret them and kind of take this trip through journaling history with me in their own way. So I'm going to give you a special flip through today that's kind of a story time flip through where I read to you what's written on the pages as well as giving you a bit more information about them. So here it is, Journaling Through the Ages, a time travelling journal project by Kia Marie Hunt. Here's the cover that I made, covered in sticky back plastic to hopefully protect it for a long time when it goes to the library. Here's the title page, Journaling Through the Ages, with some pictures of my stacks of journals. More often than not, I refer to my sketchbooks as journals. This is because, to me, a journal can be anything: a diary, a sketchbook, a scrapbook, and many more outlets for creative expression, all combined into one little place. An introduction to this journal. I'm planning to dedicate this little book to my love of journaling and of history. This will be a time-travelling adventure through a brief history of journaling and diary writing and sketchbooking and collage too. Some journal spreads will be informative, a delve into facts that I find fascinating, but other spreads will simply be aesthetic, indulging my inspiration to create art based on my limited impression of what various eras of history look like. Got some more of my journals there. And then we start with the first spread, which is Ancient Rome. So the prompt in the journal challenge that I made based off of this was Ancient Rome, Egypt or Greece, because I thought it'd be nice. I did Rome, but I could open it up to other ancient cultures. First stop, Ancient Rome. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius is a well-known example because his personal writings and private notes survived and were translated into the book Meditations, which is here. He's often quoted, but who knows how many of the quotes are true to what he wrote in his diaries and how many got lost to time and translation. From what I can gather, his writing survived because he was a wealthy and powerful man. Oh, how I wish to see how many other diaries were written, sketchbooks were made, and artworks were created that depicted life in ancient Rome but have been lost to time. Wouldn't it be amazing if others were discovered? And then I have a little quote here from Marcus Aurelius that says, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." And then I've also got a picture here depicting ancient Rome, and it says, "I would love to see what ancient Rome really looked like." And a picture of some ancient Roman writing tools like a wax tablet and a stylus. I really enjoyed making the pages aged for this spread, so I used coffee and tea and burnt the edges as well to kind of give it the ancient look. Then we have ancient China or Japan. That's what I gave the prompt as. Mine is about the Mayfly Diaries or the Kagera Nikki. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. So let's start from here. Michizuna no Haha, again, sorry about my pronunciation, was a Japanese noblewoman who lived from around 935 to 995 AD. Michizuna no Haha literally means Michizuna's mother. Her name is unknown to history. She is the author of the Kagera Nikki, a classic of Japanese literature. During the Heian period, prominent families often collected and compiled poems in a family collection also known as a kashu. But Michizuna no Haha decided to also include poems and prose about her own personal experiences, like concerns about her troubled marriage, her pilgrimages to temples and holy mountains, and her desire to be a nun, and feelings of great loss when grieving her mother. I find the story of the Mayfly Diary so fascinating, and I wish I could read it, Apparently she uses a mixture of styles, like memoirs, day-to-day entries, poetry and writings that are sometimes weeks or even months apart, a lot like my own journals. I think it is so important to include a woman's view in this brief history of journals, because so often the voices of women are written out of history. Michizuna no Haha is said to have created a new form of self-expression, psychological exploration that expanded the potential of prose writing and influenced subsequent women's history, which is something that I definitely respect and admire. And here we have a depiction of her with her diary. I really like this page, and I like using some of the Japanese washi tapes that I had as well to decorate it. Then we have the medieval spread. So my prompt for this spread was simply medieval and mystical. So I have, in the medieval era, diaries were used by mystics to record spiritual interpretations of daily events. So that's by Colleen Welsh in a blog that I found called The History of the Diary, and I used that blog a lot to make this journal when I was starting off with my research. And I also made this spread on another YouTube video, so if you like it you can watch me make it in real time. So I really liked the fact that I'd got a medieval mystical spread to make, because it meant that I could use all of my sun stickers, moon stickers, holographic stickers, all the medieval kind of magical things that I really like to use. Then we have the 1600s London page. I made that prompt simply because I really wanted to do a whole spread about Samuel Pepys, but I thought that was kind of specific to give as a prompt, so I gave 1600s London so people could choose other things around that time. Samuel Pepys is one of the most well-known diarists whose diaries are still published and read today, over 400 years later. But he also has a personal significance to me, thanks to my lovely nanny. She was always reading books about Samuel Pepys. She must have been absolutely fascinated by him. But back then, of course, I didn't even know who he was or why he was famous. I used to see his face on the covers and think that he looked pompous and boring. There he is. I never even asked her about him, but now I really wish I had. Years later, when my mum was moving some of my nan's books, she said that she was really surprised that I wasn't more interested in Samuel Pepys, you know, given that I love journaling and Pepys is a really famous diary keeper. Is he? I asked her. I didn't even know that that's what he was known for. Duh. Now I'm reading his biography, and it is so interesting to be immersed in 1600s London. Also, the post-it notes with extra information added in by my lovely nanny help a lot. There they are, look. This one says, a post-it note with currency conversions from 1600s to modern day. Thanks, Nan. I'm lost a bit here because I just write in a stream of conscious and sometimes it's difficult to read back. They help me a lot and they make me feel a bit closer to her as well. I only wish that we talked about this mutual interest back when she was alive. So that's a bit of a personal spread. It's Samuel Pepys, but it's also a kind of an emotional one about my nan. Then we have, oh, Mr. Page. Then we have Victorian scrapbooking. I really like the style of Victorian scrapbooking, and it looks like a lot of you did too because there were some really nice spreads for this prompt. Scrapbooking became a popular pastime for ladies of the Victorian era, seen as a more involved way to preserve experiences rather than just journaling or diary writing. When I went to the National Gallery of Scotland's exhibition on the history of collage, I loved seeing album amicorums from women in the 1800s. These were like scrapbooks, yearbooks and autograph albums all rolled into one, and I love how they looked. I also learned how paper scraps came to be sold and were popular for collaging. I bought some Victorian style scraps to use in my own journal, which I've added to this page. So they're here, some of the Victorian style scraps that I got from the gift shop at the National Gallery of Scotland when I went to visit that exhibition on the history of collage. It's a very busy page again, but that was kind of the style. You can see that I've stuck in some old Victorian style scrapbook pages. This one especially is really full, so I kind of like how my page matches that one. Then we have an extra page that I did about the Victorian prompt, just because I really liked this sketchbook that I found, so I'll read you this one now. Sometimes I like to look at Victorian collections online. That's a normal thing to do, right? Recently I came across this wonderful sketchbook album from around 1862 by a Victorian woman named Louisa Goldburn Thomas. The interesting collection of sketches, artworks and postcards give a glimpse into her life travelling with her husband, a colonel, to various postings in the Mediterranean and West Asia. I love how eclectic it is. And I made a little mini sketchbook within a sketchbook to show you some of the things that are in here. So there's more writing here. It says, I love this sketch of a baby because I know what it's like to look at something or someone who's so precious in that moment that you try to capture them in a sketch, but usually you give up partway through because it just doesn't do it justice. It's funny to think that this baby was a person so long ago. I'll give you a close-up of the baby sketch. And then this is a little postcard that she'd stuck in that just says Nest of the Quetzal. Or maybe it's a painting. And I've put, we tried to see a quetzal when we went to Costa Rica to no avail. Even now they seem so exotic, so I wonder just how fascinating it was to see one back then, in Victorian times. Then there's some more photographs and sketches of a house. Another sketch of someone embroidering and another building there. I just thought it was a nice little glimpse into someone's life way back in the Victorian times. Now we have the 20s page. This could be read really wrong, but if you read it this way it makes sense. It was in the 1920s when nobody had time to reflect. So that's a quote by Georgia O'Keeffe. It's actually part of a longer sentence, but I just like the idea that nobody had time to reflect then, especially given that this whole journal is about journaling, which is a form of reflection. So kind of strikes me as this really busy time, you know, the roaring 20s, and maybe people just didn't have time to reflect So there's the front of the journal, there's the back of the journal. So it's got a handmade felt cover. And that was in 2006, and then I found from 2007 a memory book that I'd made from a holiday to Hungary with my family. So part of my family is from Hungary. And it says memory book here, I'll show you. It was so interesting to look through because I've collected loads of scraps and napkins from restaurants and all kinds of things that I still do now. So I actually didn't realise I was doing it even back then, this kind of style of travel journaling. And I really love this bit. I wanted to show you this bit because I just thought it was so funny. Let's see if it'll focus on it. It says, on Wednesday 7th of February we went to a nice restaurant and had a lovely cordon bleu. Yum. This might have been a bit naughty, ... I couldn't find any souvenirs. So I picked a leaf off the fake plant behind us. The little leaves. I've put, my obsession with collecting for a journal was strong even then. But it was so funny that I needed to collect something for my memory book, so I just took a leaf, a fake leaf. And then here for like 2009, so the late 2000s, I've got MSN. I loved MSN. And I've got some of my earliest Facebook statuses from 2009, which are quite embarrassing, but I thought they were a piece of history. And you know, like journaling kind of went digital with blogs and stuff. Like Facebook is, people use it like a journal, right? They just talk about anything. So I'd put, I'm bored. No one's on MSN. Talk? ? Meep meep. And I put, why did we all talk like this? Like we all talked really weird. I feel like that was normal back then to just end with meep meep. I've put, oh my god, who invented webcam? I love them, lol. I have no recollection of saying this, but apparently I was really surprised by the invention of the webcam, so I'm showing my age. And then, oh, I just kept this because it was nice. This is Boxing Day 2009, and I said, with Sadie and Lois and Holly and Uncle Lewis and Mum and Dad and Nan and Grandad. So I was obviously having some nice time with my family, which some of them aren't here anymore, so I thought it was nice to add that into this spread. This one was quite emotional, and I actually listened to Now 44, which was from 2000, and Now 58, which was from 2004. I listened to them while I made it, so I was like channeling my inner child for this one. Then we change up the pace a bit. So this is 2010 to 2019, and this is a bullet journal themed page, so I'll read. Though it was apparently invented in the 90s, to me at least, it was the 2010s onwards that felt like the rise of bullet journaling. It was such a cute and interesting way to stay organised, so I could see the appeal. But it was far too neat and minimalistic for me. Even now I'm struggling to make a page that looks like a bujo, thanks to my tendency to go overboard. So you can see that here. In 2015 I started journaling to record my experiences studying abroad in Uruguay and Brazil, but with my own free, messy and creative style of journaling, and the rest was history. I made an Instagram account called Aspire to Amble at the time, but now known and loved, hopefully, as Kia.create. I enjoyed connecting with the journaling community. They're such lovely people. So much that I started the journal sharing Instagram community Inspiring Journals in 2017. Since then, journaling has consumed my life, opening so many doors and opportunities for me. I'm so grateful. And there's a little bullet journal sketch of this, which has another one of that on there. Mise en abîme. And now we have 2020. And I realised that so much has happened in 2020 that this spread is like made up of multiple booklets, so I hope you're ready for this one. It's a big reflective kind of spread. 2020 has been quite the year so far. Lots of bad things have definitely happened, a global pandemic being only one of them, but plenty of good things have happened too, and I always prefer to look on the bright side. For example, plenty of people use quarantine to begin journaling, and I think it's nice that a disaster may have led to someone discovering a new passion. And I've got my quarantine film journal on there, so like in the heart of quarantine we decided to watch one film a night and record our little reviews of them, so that's on there. So more about what happened in 2020. I turned 25 this year. Honestly, in general, I think that age is meaningless, and keeping track of it is a completely unnecessary social construct. But, that being said, I suppose it's okay to acknowledge, oops, spelled acknowledge wrong, that being alive for a quarter century is significant. I'm grateful for every wonderful day, And I've loved spending my birthday in the Malvern Hills with my love. There we are, I've got from the travel journal from the Malvern Hills, together on top of the world. And then surrounded by my family, eating pizza and opening presents. New art supplies. All of my presents this year were art themed, it was great. Then something else that happened. My little Etsy shop has really taken off this year. Well, kind of. It's all relative, isn't it? I'm so proud to think that people all around the world are enjoying my sticker designs. Are enjoying the sticker designs that I've been creating. And there's some of my stickers and the little banner for my Etsy shop. I thought it was cool to put on there that it had a 402 sales at the time. Maybe one day I'll look at this and think that that seems really small, but right now it feels big and I feel grateful. But my proudest achievement of the year is definitely writing and illustrating my first 5 books. It's so weird and amazing that I actually officially am allowed to call myself an author and illustrator. Yay! So my awesome year being 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're the books I wrote. And I put on honestly, my awesome year being 25. Because this year's awesome too for me. Then we have another booklet. I started a journal club. It's been a dream of mine for quite a while. I love the idea of creating and curating a collection of journaling goodies like stickers, prompts, colouring pages and papers, all based around a particular vibe that I'm feeling or inspired by in that month. That's why I'm so happy that the journal club is happening. And then we have the past journal clubs of this year. So this was the first one that I made. April 2020, an inspired spring. This was spring flowers, art supplies, nature and inspiration in bloom. The marbled magic of May. Marbling potions, liquid gold honey. June and July was the jewels of June. This had crystals, treasure chests, magical insects and jewels. And last month, August, well, this month just gone, was August washi tape box that had washi rolls, washi stickers, washi swatches and zines. And then this is the spooky sticker special pack I'm working on for September and I'm so excited about it. Then I have the journal club is also the name I gave to the journaling podcast I started this year. It's starting very slowly, but I'm loving it as a way to connect with other journal addicts like me. And there's the journal club on Spotify. And while I'm taking a moment to reflect on cool things that have happened this year, I collaborated on a special journal spread giveaway and custom sticker sheet with a brand that I love, Apothecary at Home, which was super exciting and I'm thrilled with the stickers. I love how they turned out. So I'm not trying to brag or flex, I'm just trying to reflect on all of the good things that have happened this year because I've definitely been busy on multiple projects. So here they all are in one little condensed page. And then we have this, which is very relevant to this video. The Journaling Through the Ages challenge was born. So there is the Journaling Through the Ages prompt spread that I posted back in July, getting people ready for this challenge. So I put, when I tried to decide what I would create in my sketchbook for this project, I decided on time travel and the history of journaling. And when I ended up having so much fun, I used the pages that I'd made as prompts to turn this into a journal challenge for my followers on Kia Creates and Inspiring Journals, that's on Instagram. The premise was that for every 2 days in August, there would be a new era-based prompt to create a journal spread about. Participants in the challenge can interpret these prompts however they like. So here they are, we've just been through them. Ancient Greece, Egypt or Rome, ancient China or Japan, medieval and mystical, 1600s London, Victorian scrapbooking, the Roaring Twenties, pick an artist from the 30s, 40s or 50s, swinging 60s and 70s, 80s retro, 90s kids, welcome to the third millennium or 2000s, teen years, 2010 to 2019, and then 2020 and beyond, which is this one, and meet the artist, which is the one you'll see in a moment. As of now, there are around 249 posts on the Journaling Through the Ages hashtag, and I love all of them. It's been so exciting and inspiring to see how all of these creative people have joined in. It really has. I honestly can't stress enough how exciting it's been that so many people have joined in, and it's just so interesting to see how something turned out in your head and then how it prompted something completely different in someone else's journal. I love it. And then I have some examples of some posts that people made as part of the challenge. I've put, it was just supposed to be an August challenge. Oh yeah, this bit's important, I hope you're listening. It was just supposed to be an August challenge, but it's so fun that I think I'd love to make it an ongoing and open to all. So if you've read this far, or in YouTube's case, if you've watched this far, why not make your own journal spread based on one or more of the Journaling Through the Ages prompts? Give it a go. I look forward to seeing what you share. Happy journaling. So I mean that, please. Let's carry on the Journaling Through the Ages challenge. If you've enjoyed all of this and you feel inspired to make your own, whether it's just a couple of pages for times that you like, maybe you just really want to do an 80s spread or something like that, please do by all means make your own and tag me. And then if you want to do the whole thing, just go for it. It doesn't matter that August is over. I think this will carry on regardless of time, if you'll pardon the pun. And then the last page is the Meet the Artist spread. So this is all about me. And it says, "Hi, I'm Kia Marie, author, illustrator and journal addict. Usually you'll find me in the studio at my house in hermit mode, working on way too many projects at once, like kids' books, new Etsy designs or other creative ideas. Otherwise you'll find me spending time with my loved ones or on my roller skates." And there I am, whizzing along. I'm really not that good yet, but I'm getting there. I post journaling videos on YouTube, which you'll know if you're watching this. And I've put on there, I made a video about this journal. So hopefully some of you are watching this because you found this sketchbook in the Brooklyn Art Museum and you wanted to know more about it. So if that is you, then welcome. Thank you so much. That's so exciting. I make journals, look at journals, take photos of journals and share photos of mine and other people's journals on Instagram. There's a reason why I've put a journal sticker and called myself a journal addict. Is journal even a word? I've said it so much. On a more serious note, making this journal was an emotional journey and I can't thank you enough for taking it with me. And there's my credentials. And then on the back I've just got a little advert for this video. Basically I've got can't read my writing, journal lover, nosy, want the backstory. You should watch the flip through video I made of this journal. Search Kia Creates on YouTube or Journaling Through the Ages, which maybe you've done, so hello and thank you. And then just here, thank you for time travelling with me this far. It was so fun. The rest is still unwritten. That song was actually on while I was making this last spread and it felt significant that the rest is still unwritten. There we have it. Sorry for singing. So there we go, that is a flip through and a read through of the entire journal. I know this is a really long video, so thank you so much if you've watched all the way through. I don't usually make videos this long, but I've never ever made an entire journal and then had to send it away. It feels so sort of scary and sad, but also so exciting to know that this is going to be in a museum, possibly in the travelling library as well, and that other people are going to see it. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of memorialise it. This is for you, but it's also for me. Like, I like looking back through my old journals, so I will probably sit and watch this all the way through just to remember what I made in here. So that is the Journaling Through the Ages journal, the OG where the Journaling Through the Ages challenge started. Hopefully you found out a bit more about that and maybe you're inspired to join, or if you've already joined and you like looking through my journal, thank you so much for being part of it. Your journal spreads really inspired me, so I really enjoy the sense of community that's come from this already, and hopefully it'll build further. I ended up in the Brooklyn Art Museum, so I guess the only thing to do is to put this in the packet and send it off. I'll probably put a little artsy shot in now of me putting it in the envelope and tying it up, but in the interest of transparency I'm definitely going to take it back out and take probably like a million more pictures before I send it off, because like I said, I've never sent a journal away from me before and it feels like my baby, so I want to take loads of photos first, and you'll probably see me posting throwbacks every time I get the chance. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you next week with a shorter video. Me and this little journal say bye. Bye! one last thing. I'm definitely going to wear this badge. I have officially earned my status as an official artist of the Sketchbook Project. Check it out. Hi, I'm Kia and I'm an official artist of the Sketchbook Project. Nice to meet you. I'm embarrassing myself. I'm gonna go now. Bye!